Wink News begins with breaking news.
Right after live pictures on Wink News at 4, at least one person is dead. Many more are missing after a high-rise condo collapses in South Florida. We have live team coverage in 1 minute. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Russ Patowski.
And I'm Lois Tomey. Amanda Hall is off tonight. More on the collapse in just a moment. We'll get to team coverage in Miami. But first, Wink News meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees is tracking storms right now. And Brittany, where is the rain headed?
Well, it's heading pretty much inland toward the coast, Lois. And we actually just did have a severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for parts of Lee County. That has since fizzled out. We are not expecting that severe thunderstorm anymore. But parts of Lee County still getting walloped by some heavy areas of rain. And that this is mainly along and west there of I-75. In fact, even west there of 41. As most of the rain, the lightning is now heading offshore into the Gulf of Mexico there. You see that cluster just to the east of Boca Grande. Lightning totals when Matt was on live for you just a little bit ago, almost double what we have right now, sitting at about 70, with most of that shifting away. Also, not out of the question that we couldn't see or have seen some of that light to small hail for portions there of Southwest Florida as the severe storm rolled in. You see this pocket here of the blue shading just to the south of Cypress Lake. This is indicating the chance for some of that P, if not even higher hail there just to the north of Summerlin Road and northeast there of Kelly Road heading toward Iona. So do keep that in mind as you're heading out the door this afternoon. We are still encountering, of course, the rain and some of those lightning strikes too. Along with the severe thunderstorm warning, we also had a report at Pagefield Airport in Fort Myers of wind gusting almost close to 60 miles per hour. Now, this is not out of the question for a severe thunderstorm, but definitely that gusty wind can provide some damage to the siding of homes. Even some trees can be downed by wind of that magnitude. More on today's forecast, potential for more storms on the way, and of course, a preview of your weekend that's coming up.
Look at the building. It's gone.
Breaking news, a condo complex collapses overnight.
Everybody started to panic and we grabbed children and started running out the door.
A man saves a child, pulling him out from the rubble.
You know, he was just screaming, "Don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me."
The devastating collapse captured on camera, the middle section falling into itself, and moments later, another portion comes tumbling down.
The side of the building sheared off. Floor rugs now dangling down the side, and bunk beds teeter on the top floor. A sign of the lives lived in those units.
We're here together to find anything that we could do to help the families that have gone through this tragedy.
And Wink News has live team coverage of the collapse. Wink News reporter Morgan Reiner and Sydney Persing are both live in Surfside for us. And at this hour, the search and rescue operation is still ongoing.
Governor Ron DeSantis says there is still hope to find survivors. They must carefully search through this pile of rubble in Surfside, which is north of Miami Beach. And here's what we know right now. One person is dead. At least 99 people are missing. Lightning has slowed the efforts to find them at points today. Crews have rescued 35 people. That building is 12 stories high. It has 130 units. What caused it to collapse is still unknown. The cause is a secondary concern for the families of the missing. Wink News reporter Morgan Reiner is live in Surfside at the Reunification Center where families are waiting. And Morgan, what are you hearing there?
Lois, people are calling this a war zone. 9/11, ground zero, a terrorist attack. Those words alone are scary. Now add in family members. Every single person I spoke to here today is looking for at least one person, some a handful of people. Others I spoke to are looking for entire families. This is the waiting period that no one wants to experience. And finding out that 99 people are still unaccounted for is the last thing anyone here wanted to know.
It's ground zero here for us.
It doesn't seem real.
This was a picture that you see in magazines from terror attacks.
But for too many people, this is real, and their fear is at a fever pitch.
Only God is the one who saved them.
UB Pettin Jill is desperate. No one knows where her nephew, his wife, and all 3 of their young children are. They were on vacation, staying in the building that collapsed.
Yes, 10th floor, looking at the beach.
And you haven't heard anything?
No.
Oh, no. And you haven't seen them in the hospital or anything? No word?
No, they sent me here. They sent me here to find out.
sent her to the reunification center.
So you never lose hope. And I'm not losing my hope. The parents are coming in a private plane because they were on vacation from Paraguay. They should be arriving in a private plane at 10 o'clock at night.
Now she holds hands and hugs others filled with the same fear of the unknown.
We've been trying to locate them since around 4 o'clock in the morning. I hope they turn up as soon as possible. This is a nightmare that we can't wake up from.
Australian couple that just moved here recently. They just became a grandfather again and grandmother again, and they're in the rubble right now. They could be alive.
Again, 99 people are missing. The Miami-Dade County Police Director said dogs are searching the area. We watched as people desperately asked the governor and the lieutenant governor, where are our loved ones, over and over and over again. The best answer anyone here can give is crews are still searching the area. I'm live in Surfside. Morgan Reiner, Wink News Now.
Hi, Morgan, thanks. And our team coverage continues tonight. Wink News reporter Sydney Persing is live on the beach in Surfside. And Sydney, what are the people that you spoke with saying?
Hey, Russ, good afternoon. So I think for the overwhelming majority of people here on the beach in front of these condos, they've told me that it's one thing to see this on TV and then it's another to come here and to feel it. So as we show you this scene once again on TV, I'm going to try to bring you here so you can feel it. I think the one thing that is working folks up the most on that beach is that image up there on top we're going to show you of those 2 twin bunk beds, because of course what most people out here are feeling and thinking is that perhaps there were children in those bunk beds, and it is such a visual, visceral reminder of what we're talking about today. The people down here on the beach will give you a look. Obviously, a lot of news crews down here, local, national, some international, but then there are all these folks that are local. Some are on vacation, some live down the stretch of this beach at other condos, and what most of them have told me is that they're really here to pay their respects. Of course, right now, we only know that one person has died, so we don't know how significantly that number is going to grow, but for these people, knowing one person has passed is enough to need to pay their respects. Certainly the same goes for one gentleman I met today who is thinking of his dear friend. Have a listen. Most people in this crowd do not know each other, but some knew someone inside the Champlain Towers. Silvio Righetti is a realtor. He sold his good friend his home here.
The apartment was wiped out. I don't know. I can't breathe. It's a terrible feeling. It's not good, believe me. I stayed with him 2 days ago. We shared a great time. It's a bad sensation.
Righetti told me he just knows his friend likely died today in the unit he sold him, in the home that made them such good friends.
First, he was a client, and we became friends, and I learned a lot from him. He was a great businessman. I don't think so that he will survive this.
Here in Surfside, there is so much loss, so much destruction. But here in Surfside, for this man, there is also God.
I believe in God, and God take care of us. And that's it.
To relay that message, Rabbi Mor Yosef of Chabad Fort Lauderdale, 18 of his people are missing. He came to comfort and to tell the people in this crowd
that we all feel the same pain that they all feel.
And Russ Lois, again, to sort of bring you all into this feeling on the ground. My guess is that the microphone can't pick it up, but something that's pretty strange is it's pretty silent out here. All we really hear is sort of some faint sirens and, of course, the crashing of the waves from the Gulf. Most people sort of keeping to themselves. So a very quiet scene here, lots of reflection. And something else I did want to mention about these crowds, like I said, and as I'm sure you can imagine, you get a wide array of people here. So that gentleman who, suspects that his friend unfortunately has passed. You have people who don't know anyone and are sort of just trying to follow the news. They see it on TV. And believe it or not, we've actually met 1 or 2 people who have come up to us all these hours later, and they said, what happened? What time did this happen? So there is sort of that strange sense of, on one hand, sort of everyone in the world knows about this, and then you meet that one or two people who are so confused. So we'll be out here for the rest of the day, keeping an eye on all of this. Lois, for now, back to you.
Prayers for all those families out there with all that fear in their hearts tonight. Governor DeSantis in Surfside today assessing the damage.
I mean, it is really, really traumatic to see the collapse of a massive structure like that. Right now, we have the fire rescue. They are in search and rescue mode. They are trying to identify survivors. I know they have made contact with some, and they are doing everything they can to save lives.
Governor says first responders have really stepped up. He says the Red Cross is offering short-term hotels for survivors of this collapse, and engineers will be looking at the building to determine a cause for the collapse.
And the entire Wink News team is working to bring you every update we can on this situation. In fact, we can tell you there's a news conference planned for 4:30, so we'll have more on that coming up in the 4:30 half hour of our broadcast. You can always get the very latest news information, of course, on the Wink News app. It is free in the App Store.
Also breaking at this hour, one person shot, another taken into custody. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting at the Fountains at Forest Wood apartment complex. That's off Brantley Road in South Fort Myers. Neighbors say they heard gunshots followed by a large number of deputies. Police have not identified the person that they have in custody.
And again, there's more at 4 right now. People desperate to find loved ones who are missing in this collapse. Southwest Florida rescue crews show us what it takes for an operation like this.
Still tracking more areas of rain and storms moving through Southwest Florida. How much more we could get tonight? That's coming up too.
And back to that condo collapse on the East Coast. You heard Lois mention a minute ago that the cause, there is no idea yet. We're looking into any warning signs. Were there any? That as our coverage continues tonight on Wink News at 5.
Breaking news, a man arrested after police say he attacked a woman at a stoplight. Fort Myers police sent us this photo of Kyle Barrett's arrest. Police say tips helped them find him. We showed you these surveillance images from Monday. Police say they received a call that a person was trying to open the front passenger door of a woman's car and got on top of the hood, banging on the windshield. She was not hurt.
Breaking news, a manhunt is underway right now after a Daytona Beach police officer was shot in the head. More than 500 officers from various agencies are now looking for the suspect, who is considered armed and dangerous. You likely received a statewide blue alert on your phone about this earlier this afternoon. Police are looking for 29-year-old Othel Wallace. The officer was hospitalized. The police chief says he has undergone a successful surgery but remains in critical condition.
Back to that breaking news on Florida's East Coast. This is Surfside, where a partial building collapse happened overnight. 99 people remain unaccounted for in that building. Rescue crews are there working feverishly right now, trying to find survivors. We do not know the cause of this collapse at this time. Right now, people are desperate to find loved ones who are missing after that building collapsed.
Yeah, and right now, urban search and rescue teams are on the scene, and obviously they're urgently trying to find those loved ones, those folks who are missing. Wink News reporter Anika Henniger is live in the studio tonight. And Anika, you spoke to Southwest Florida's urban search and rescue team, who say this is an overwhelming time, and the pictures really don't show what first responders are dealing with.
Those teams have people's entire worlds on their shoulders to find their dads and daughters and next-door neighbors missing in this collapse. Now, as many as 99 people are reported missing. The Miami-Dade County Police Director said, "Hope at this hour is alive."
Right now, there is hope, but it's up to these search and rescue teams to keep hope alive.
There's certainly the hope in our minds as first responders. We want to pull live victims out. That's what we want to do.
And have got to do, because the clock is ticking. Shane Seibert leads Urban Search and Rescue Florida Task Force 6. Task Force 1 and 2 are searching the rubble of Champlain Towers South.
And not only are they well equipped, they're probably the best trained in the world.
And thank God, because these first responders never know when more concrete will fall.
We don't necessarily just grab the victim and pull them out. We take all these pieces away, because by just moving a victim's leg, that could collapse.
But they train for this, as do the search dogs. Mike Hadsell, the founder of Peace River Canine Search and Rescue Association, is on standby, ready to help.
time, the longer it gets, the less likely it is that anybody's going to survive. However, we've pulled people out of these situations before, 3 and 4 days after they've been in the rubble piles.
Where could someone be alive? Both Hadsell and Seibert agree the situation is grim. But they both agree it's not impossible to find life.
Pancake is down, 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 so it's just stacked. So is there void spaces in there? We hope so. Certainly, we hope so.
There's always hope. We're still early into the event.
Both of those men told me one of the hardest parts of this is seeing family nearby. The tragedy of it all is not lost on them. The next steps we can expect to see, engineers will help figure out how to safely remove the concrete.
Rain and storms continuing to make their way through Southwest Florida. What a week we have had here locally with lots of rain and thunderstorm activity. Now, the most rain right now is up toward this area here in Charlotte County, actually right over the waterways too, near Charlotte Harbor. Now, the lightning strikes have diminished extremely quickly, down to about 41 now, as the air is starting to stabilize there and a lot of these storms starting to move off our coastline. Now, where those storms are right now, again, over the waterways, but these are going to be shifting closer to areas such as Rotunda, Grove City there. As we look at the track out there, 445 for Rotunda, Ella Anger Middle School closer to that same time frame too. Grove City just before 5 o'clock and Englewood Beach just after, as those showers will be slowly making their way there. We're also watching the potential of some of these thunderstorms, especially the one that was previously severe warned in Lee County, could be producing some tiny little hailstones. Now, the spots shaded in purple are really small, closer to pea size. However, in this area shaded in blue, this is just to the south of Cypress Lake. Here's McGregor Boulevard. You see those spots southeast there, pretty much between McGregor and Summerlin Road. We'll see at least the chance that on the roadways there are some hailstones even a little bit stronger or bigger there because of those storms that move through. Otherwise, from that severe thunderstorm warning we did have previously, there was a wind gust reported at Pagefield Airport in Fort Myers, almost 60 miles per hour. Not abnormal for a severe thunderstorm, but definitely gusty wind, which could knock down some trees, especially in spots that have already seen a lot of rain. You know, when we get a lot of rain in the ground, it gets a little bit looser there. So when you get those gusty spouts of wind, it can bring some of those trees down. So even some branches, just watch out for that. Otherwise, though, at least for now, most of the activity we're seeing in Lee County is just rain that pretty much expands from Lehigh all the way towards Sanibel, Captiva. The same down in Collier County, especially the closer you get toward the coast. Still seeing some pockets of more moderate to heavy rainfall and the yellow and the orange shading, but really only a few lingering thunderstorms there. This particular forecast model doing a great job at picking up on the rain we're seeing right now, and you'll notice through the evening time frame we'll see a few more rounds possible, but as we get closer to the 8, 9, 10 o'clock hour, I think most of that will be just that, rain with lesser storm potential. Live right over downtown Fort Myers, you can see those cloudy skies continuing as we see that light rain moving through. Scattered showers and storms, mostly cloudy for now, but overnight maybe a shower or two as you're starting off your Friday, but mostly just muggy. And just like what we had this morning, the potential for some patchy haze, if not a little bit of fog too. Tomorrow afternoon, rinse repeat, scattered showers and thunderstorms, temps in the upper 80s to lower 90s, almost a copy and paste forecast from what we had today. Here's future track heading toward tomorrow. Again, a stray shower possible in the morning, but just like what we had today, showers and storms will start off inland and then gradually push toward the coast. Is there the potential we could see some strong storms again tomorrow? Absolutely. And once again, it's going to be lightning, especially a threat for you. And then, of course, gusty wind and flooding too. But that'll start inland and then slowly make its way closer to I-75. In the tropics, only watching one area of interest, and it just emerged off the African coast earlier today. Right now sitting at about a 40%. But notice how close this is to the Africa coast. We got a long way to watch it. Next storm name up on the list would be Danny. And at least for now, just something to watch, but nothing to be worried about here in Southwest Florida. At least locally, though, we'll continue to watch those showers and thunderstorms every single day over the next week and a half. We'll feature some.
All right, Brittany, thanks. We continue to follow that breaking news out of South Florida as rescue efforts are underway right now. We're waiting for a press conference to take place. We're told it's going to start right around 4:30. Of course, it's a fluid situation, but we will take you to that live on air when it happens.
Plus, coming up a little later in this hour, as you start planning your 4th of July weekend, the record high number of travelers expected to visit loved ones.
A small boat catches on fire. It happened in Cape Coral earlier today. The owners of the boat were inside getting ready to take it out when it caught fire. Fire crews had to use water and foam to get that fire out. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Tonight, we're learning more about a stabbing that took place. It happened at 2 a.m. at the Paddy Wagon Irish Pub in Port Charlotte. The victim is recovering with non-life-threatening injuries. The sheriff's office says this was an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public.
Right now, investigators need your help identifying this man. Fort Myers police say that he stole electronics from the store on the Sam's Club on Cleveland Avenue. Surveillance photos show the man entering the store and loading up his car with multiple electronics. The store says this has happened before, too. If you know this man, call Fort Myers Police or Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers.
Back to that breaking news in Surfside. We have a live look right now at the partial building collapse there. We are waiting for a news conference to begin with the emergency teams that are in charge of the rescue here. We will bring that to you live on air and stream it for you as soon as it starts.